Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The basic structure or features of a system or organization. The stock of basic facilities and capital equipment needed for the functioning of a country or area. Lowest support of a structure. The basic structure or features of a system or organization. A terrorist network intensely opposed to the United States that dispenses money and logistical support and training to a wide variety of radical Islamic terrorist groups, has cells in more than 50 countries. Of low birth or station, base, is archaic in this sense. Base-born wretches with dirty faces. Use purified cocaine, by burning it and inhaling the fumes. Lowest support of a structure. It was built on a base of solid rock. A support or foundation. The base of the lamp. The most important or necessary part of something. A place that the runner must touch before scoring. Illegitimate. Numeration system, the positive integer that is equivalent to 1 in the next higher counting place. A phosphoric ester of a nucleoside, the basic structural unit of nucleic acids, DNA or RNA. A lower limit. Serving as or forming a base. The painter applied a base coat followed by 2 finishing coats. The fundamental assumptions from which something is begun or developed or calculated or explained. Linguistics, the form of a word after all affixes are removed. The place where you are stationed and from which missions start and end. The stock of basic facilities and capital equipment needed for the functioning of a country or area. The industrial base of Japan. Having or showing an ignoble lack of honor or morality. That liberal obedience without which your army would be a base rabble. Any of various water-soluble compounds capable of turning litmus blue and reacting with an acid to form a salt and water. Bases include oxides and hydroxides of metals and ammonia. Not adhering to ethical or moral principles. Base and unpatriotic motives. Installation from which a military force initiates operations. The attack wiped out our forward bases. Use as a basis for, found on. Base a claim on some observation. A flat bottom on which something is intended to sit. A tub should sit on its own base. Anatomy, the part of an organ nearest its point of attachment. The base of the skull. Debased, not genuine. An attempt to eliminate the base coinage. Electronics, the part of a transistor that separates the emitter from the collector. Situate as a center of operations. We will base this project in the new lab. The bottom or lowest part. The base of the mountain. The bottom side of a geometric figure from which the altitude can be constructed. The base of the triangle. The principal ingredient of a mixture. Glycerinated gelatin is used as a base for many ointments. Used of metals, consisting of or alloyed with inferior metal. Base coins of aluminum. The people in a society considered as a system organized by a characteristic pattern of relationships. Sociologists have studied the changing structure of the family. A particular complex anatomical part of a living thing and its construction and arrangement. He has good bone structure. A thing constructed. A complex entity constructed of many parts. The structure consisted of a series of arches. Give a structure to. I need to structure my days. The complex composition of knowledge as elements and their combinations. His lectures have no structure. The manner of construction of something and the arrangement of its parts. Artists must study the structure of the human body. The handle of a handgun or the butt end of a rifle or shotgun are part of the support of a machine gun or artillery gun. The rifle had been fitted with a special stock. The merchandise that a shop has on hand. Persistent thickened stem of herbaceous perennial plant. Any of several Old World plants cultivated for their brightly colored flowers. Repeated too often. Overfamiliar through overuse. A stalk answer. Put forth and grow sprouts or shoots. The descendants of one individual. Any of various ornamental flowering plants of the genus Malcolmia. A special variety of domesticated animals within a species. Have on hand. A supply of something available for future use. Any animals kept for use or profit. A certificate documenting the shareholder's ownership in the corporation. The value of his stocks doubled during the past year. Amass so as to keep for future use or sale or for a particular occasion or use. Let's stock coffee as long as prices are low. Regularly and widely used or sold. A stock item. Liquid in which meat and vegetables are simmered, used as a basis for e.g. soups or sauces. She made gravy with a base of beef stock. An ornamental white cravat. A plant or stem onto which a graft is made, especially a plant grown specifically to provide the root part of grafted plants. Equip with a stock. Stock a rifle. Lumber used in the construction of something. They will cut round stock to 1 inch diameter. Provide or furnish with a stock of something. Stock the larder with meat. Routine. A stock answer. Supply with fish. Stock a lake. Supply with livestock. Stock a farm. The capital raised by a corporation through the issue of shares entitling holders to an ownership interest, equity. He owns a controlling share of the company's stock. The handle end of some implements or tools. He grabbed the cue by the stalk. The reputation and popularity a person has. His stock was so high he could have been elected mayor. An electronic memory device. A depository for goods. Storehouses were built close to the docks. A mercantile establishment for the retail sale of goods or services. Keep or lay aside for future use. Store grain for the winter. A supply of something available for future use. He brought back a large store of Cuban cigars. Find a place for and put away for storage. I couldn't store all the books in the attic, so I sold some. A reserve of money set aside for some purpose. A financial institution that sells shares to individuals and invests in securities issued by other companies. A supply of something available for future use. Accumulate a fund for the discharge of a recurrent liability. Fund a medical care plan. Convert short-term floating debt into long-term debt that bears fixed interest and is represented by bonds. Furnish money for. The government funds basic research in many areas. Invest money in government securities. Place or store up in a fund for accumulation. Provide a fund for the redemption of principal or payment of interest. An ordered manner. Orderliness by virtue of being methodical and well organized. We can't do it unless we establish some system around here. A group of independent but interrelated elements comprising a unified whole. A vast system of production and distribution and consumption keep the country going. A complex of methods or rules governing behavior. They have to operate under a system they oppose. An organized structure for arranging or classifying. He tried to understand their system of classification. A group of physiologically or anatomically related organs or parts. The body has a system of organs for digestion. A procedure or process for obtaining an objective. They had to devise a system that did not depend on cooperation. Instrumentality that combines interrelated interacting artifacts designed to work as a coherent entity. He bought a new stereo system. Physical chemistry, a sample of matter in which substances in different phases are in equilibrium. In a static system, oil cannot be replaced by water on a surface. The living body considered as made up of interdependent components forming a unified whole. Exercise helped him get the alcohol out of his system. A system of high-tension cables by which electrical power is distributed throughout a region. A perforated or corrugated metal plate used in a storage battery as a conductor and support for the active material. An electrode placed between the cathode and anode of a vacuum tube to control the flow of electrons through the tube. A cooking utensil of parallel metal bars, used to grill fish or meat. A pattern of regularly spaced horizontal and vertical lines. Of a clause, capable of standing syntactically alone as a complete sentence. The main, or independent, clause in a complex sentence has at least a subject and a verb. Any very large body of salt water. Most important element. The main doors were of solid glass. A principal pipe in a system that distributes water or gas or electricity or that collects sewage. Of force. Of the greatest possible intensity. By main strength. An institution where persons are confined for punishment and to protect the public. An institution where persons are confined for punishment and to protect the public. A system of high-tension cables by which electrical power is distributed throughout a region. A system of high-tension cables by which electrical power is distributed throughout a region. Structures, such as highways or schools or bridges or docks, constructed at government expense for public use. Establishment including the plant and equipment for providing education from kindergarten through high school. Facility consisting of a system of sewers for carrying off liquid and solid sewage. Facility consisting of a system of sewers for carrying off liquid and solid sewage. Facility consisting of a system of sewers for carrying off liquid and solid sewage. A facility consisting of the means and equipment necessary for the movement of passengers or goods. Make a passage or journey from one place to another. A journey usually by ship. A surveying instrument for measuring horizontal and vertical angles, consisting of a small telescope mounted on a tripod. Cause or enable to pass through. The canal will transit hundreds of ships every day. Pass across, a sign or house of the zodiac, or pass across, the disk of a celestial body or the meridian of a place. The comet will transit on September 11th. Revolve, the telescope of a surveying transit, about its horizontal transverse axis in order to reverse its direction. The act of expelling a person from their native land. The sentence was one of transportation for life. The act of moving something from one location to another. The sum charged for riding in a public conveyance. A facility consisting of the means and equipment necessary for the movement of passengers or goods. The commercial enterprise of moving goods and materials. The United States federal department that institutes and coordinates national transportation programs, created in 1966. A facility consisting of the means and equipment necessary for the movement of passengers or goods. The part of the Earth's surface covered with water, such as a river or lake or ocean. They invaded our territorial waters. A facility that provides a source of water. The town debated the purification of the water supply. Binary compound that occurs at room temperature as a clear, colorless, odorless, tasteless liquid. Freezes into ice below 0 degrees centigrade and boils above 100 degrees centigrade. Widely used as a solvent. Liquid excretory product. The child had to make water. Supply with water, as with channels or ditches or streams. A liquid necessary for the life of most animals and plants. He asked for a drink of water. Fill with tears. His eyes were watering. Once thought to be one of 4 elements composing the universe, Empedocles. Provide with water. We watered the buffalo. Secrete or form water, as tears or saliva. My mouth watered at the prospect of a good dinner. A facility that provides a source of water. The town debated the purification of the water supply. Facility consisting of the physical plants and equipment for disseminating information. A facility that provides a source of water. A river and all of its tributaries. Facility consisting of the physical plants and equipment for disseminating information. A system for communicating. A station housing fire apparatus and firemen. A station housing fire apparatus and firemen. Facility, plant and equipment, for providing natural gas service.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.